What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today, where we have our quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 9 fantasy football. Now, there's a few running backs carrying some injury designations into this weekend that we really need to pay attention to. Plus, we have a new segment here at the end where we talk about a few notable players that you may not see inside my top 30, but we're not going to waste any more time. Let's hit it off at number 30. And that's going to be Le'Veon Bell, Kansas City Chiefs, with a matchup going up against the Carolina Panthers. Not a bad matchup whatsoever, but neither was last week against the Jets in a blowout, and he still wasn't getting touches until we see the volume. Going to continue to drop him down the list. Got Le'Veon Bell, number 30. Number 29, Zach Moss, Buffalo Bills, a matchup this week going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Not a bad matchup for him. Plus, last week, he found the end zone a few times. Can he continue it? He's still splitting that backfield and those touches with Devin Singletary, and they are both really touchdown dependent in a game in which they may have to throw a little bit more. Got Zach Moss dropped down a few spots to number 29. 28, Melvin Gordon, Denver Broncos, going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Not a bad matchup whatsoever, but I don't hate Melvin Gordon. I just like Phillip Lindsay that much more, and Lindsay looks great on the ground so far in his opportunities here the past few weeks. Got Melvin Gordon at 28. 27, Jerick McKinnon, San Francisco 49ers, Thursday Night Football. They have no one to really throw the ball to in San Francisco outside of maybe Trent Taylor. No Debo, no Ayuk, no Kittle. We have problems, so what we need to do is make sure that we use Jerick McKinnon in the passing game a little bit more this week. Got him at 27. Number 26, Ronald Jones, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rojo can't get out of his own way, fumbling away the opportunity, and now has opened the door for more Leonard Fournette in a matchup this Sunday night against the New Orleans Saints, a Saints defense which held Rojo in check week 1, had to drop him down a few spots, got him at 26. 25, Jordan Wilkins, Indianapolis Colts, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Not the easiest of matchups, however. This seems to be Jordan Wilkins' backfield as of right now. After last week's disaster that was Jonathan Taylor, Wilkins took advantage of his opportunity, and it would not surprise me to have him be the lead role in this backfield, at least for the short time. Got him right now at 25. 24, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers. There's reports coming out that he could play this evening for the Green Bay Packers. However, if he does, they are expecting a shortened workload, not a full workload for Aaron Jones. Maybe if they get the lead, we see more Tyler Ervin, Dexter Williams. I had to drop him down a few spots because it's not for sure that he's ready to go. Got him at 24. 23, Devin Singletary, Buffalo Bills. We already talked about Zach Moss in a matchup going up against Seattle. In this matchup, I can see Buffalo being forced to throw the ball to keep pace with Seattle all 4 quarters. If that's the case, I give the slight edge in the passing game to Devin Singletary. Got him at 23. 22, Gus Edwards, Baltimore Ravens. A difficult matchup going up against the Colts, but it doesn't really matter. We know Baltimore can run the ball. What we don't know is, do they have Mark Ingram this week? Right now, it's looking like they probably won't, which means Gus Edwards becomes the safer option in this offense as of right now. What about J.K. Dobbins? We'll talk about him here in a few minutes, but got Gus Edwards at 22. 21, Damian Harris, New England Patriots, going up against the Jets on Monday Night Football. Harris continues to produce when given volume. The problem is he doesn't always get the volume in this matchup against the Jets. I could see him getting it. Got him right here at 21. Number 20, Phillip Lindsay, Denver Broncos, the other half of this backfield in Denver with a matchup going up against Atlanta. Love Phillip Lindsay. He is the better running back as of right now in this backfield. The only reason he's not higher is he's having to split the volume with Melvin Gordon, and it's limiting his ceiling, making him a little bit more touchdown dependent just because the large volume isn't there. Still love the matchup. Love what he's shown here the past few weeks. Got Phillip Lindsay, number 20. Number 19, Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that Sunday night matchup going up against the New Orleans Saints. And as of right now, Fournette has a clear grab on the pass-catching role in this backfield at the least. Add into the fact that Rojo fumbled last week and they gave more volume on the ground to Fournette, only leads you to believe that he could get the lion's share this week. Got him at number 19. Number 18, Justin Jackson, Los Angeles Chargers, a matchup going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. And as of right now, Justin Jackson is the number 1 running back in Los Angeles. Tremaine Pope dealing with concussion issues here throughout the week. And Joshua Kelly been a disappointment in a great matchup going up against Las Vegas. And he's seen volume. Give me Justin Jackson at 18. Number 17, JaMycal Hasty, San Francisco 49ers. Already talked about Jerick McKinnon. Not a whole lot of weapons in San Francisco, right? But I trust the offense of Kyle Shanahan and his ability to be creative and put guys in positions to succeed. Insert JaMycal Hasty. He should see the volume this week. Got him at 17. Number 16, David Montgomery, Chicago Bears, going up against the Tennessee Titans, and I love to see that added volume from David Montgomery like we saw last week. Can we see it again in a decent matchup going up against Tennessee? I think we do, and he's seen right around 4 to 5 targets a game, giving him a safer floor. What we need is some dang touchdowns to see this ceiling, but for right now, got David Montgomery sitting at 16. Number 15, DeAndre Swift, Detroit Lions, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, and this one is a little bit iffy, right? Love DeAndre Swift. Do they have Matthew Stafford? Possibly not. Do they have Kenny Golladay? No, they're going to need more weapons. Do they rely a little bit more on the running game and the passing game out of the backfield to their running backs? I believe they do this week with their injured weapons. Got DeAndre Swift right here at 15, but he could be trending up. Number 14, Antonio Gibson, Washington football team, going up against the New York Giants. And we saw Antonio Gibson before his bye week go out there, get great volume, and produce solid fantasy numbers. Pretty much his breakout game of the year. Do they continue to build off that volume? If they do, he may climb higher than 14. But as of right now, until we see it, got him sitting right here. Number 13, Chris Carson, Seattle Seahawks, going up against the Buffalo Bills, but you can see the injury symbol next to his name. We just don't know yet about Chris Carson. Have not seen any reports yet as of today whether or not he's going to be a full go for this Sunday. If he's not, look at DJ Dallas once again. We'll talk about him here in a few minutes. Keep your eye on Chris Carson. If he's 100% healthy and active this weekend, he's back in your lineup. Got him at 13 with an asterisk, I guess you could say, next to his name. Number 12, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, I contemplated putting him even lower than this, maybe down right around 16 or so. Difficult matchup going up against Pittsburgh. The volume should still be there on the ground. The problem is they're not even involving him in the passing game, and Ben DiNucci is not that great. So it really limits the ceiling for Ezekiel Elliott. If you have him, it's hard to sit him unless you have a great third option. But for right now, he's about outside of the top 12. Got him sitting right here at 12 and trending down. Number 11, Todd Gurley, Atlanta Falcons, going up against the Denver Broncos. Todd Gurley just continues to score touchdowns, and we still have some injured pass-catching weapons for the Falcons. Maybe we see a little bit more Todd Gurley this week, and we know he has a nose for the end zone, whether he wants to fall into it or not. Got Todd Gurley right here, number 11. Number 10, Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a matchup going up against the Carolina Panthers. So a matchup that we like. We just don't know what this split is going to be as of yet between him and Le'Veon Bell. They didn't really utilize either one of these guys in a blowout victory last week, and I've been saying it for weeks. Until we see Le'Veon Bell take away the touches in this backfield, I'm going to continue to rank Clyde Edwards-Helaire higher. We still haven't seen it. He's sitting right here, number 10. Number 9, David Johnson, Houston Texans, a matchup going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a Jaguars team who will have rookie quarterback Jake Luton under center. Can Houston get an early lead and run the running game all second half? I believe they can. Got David Johnson at number 9. Number 8, his opponent in that game, James Robinson of the Jacksonville Jaguars, in an even better matchup going up against one of the worst run defenses in all of football, the Houston Texans. Why is James Robinson not lower, though, if I think that they're going to be trailing in this game? It's because he's involved in the passing game on a weekly basis, and with a rookie quarterback under center, I would expect some more checkdowns here this week. Got James Robinson at number 8. Number 7, Chase Edmonds, Arizona Cardinals with a matchup going up against the Miami Dolphins. It's Chase Edmonds season, right? This is what people have wanted all season long. He's looked good in his opportunities, but how does he handle a 3-down role? We're about to find out in a matchup here against Miami. Can he continue to be super efficient? We'll find out this week. Got him at number 7. Number 6, Josh Jacobs of the Raiders going up against the Chargers this week, and love to see the volume that he got on the ground last week, but don't forget, that was a pretty ugly weather game, and they were forced to run the ball quite a bit in a matchup this week against the Los Angeles Chargers, a team in which we know can put some points up on the board. Expect to see Josh Jacobs a little bit more involved in the passing game this week. Got him sitting right here at number 6. Number 5, James Conner, Pittsburgh Steelers, a matchup this week against the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, sir. Give me some James Conner here this week. He's been super consistent all season long, and we know he's in an offense that's going to utilize the running back position. Not worried about splitting too many touches here in a great matchup. Got James Conner, number 5. Number 4, speaking of touches, we're talking about Derrick Henry here of the Tennessee Titans in a very difficult matchup going up against Chicago. Does it limit his ceiling? Yeah, possibly. But with the amount of volume that this guy gets and his touchdown upside on a weekly basis, it doesn't matter. Derrick Henry's still sitting right here at number 4. Number 3, Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, Sunday Night Football, going up against a difficult defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Alvin Kamara has been torching everybody all year long. And should we classify this dude as a wide receiver at this point? Because he is just racking up receptions. Nothing negative to say about Alvin Kamara this week. Got him at number 3. Number 2, as of right now, Christian McCaffrey. Welcome back to the top 30 rankings. Christian McCaffrey got him at number 2, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And here's the deal with McCaffrey. If he's 100% healthy, he's in your fantasy lineups because Carolina really has no reason to rush him back. So if he's back and he's playing, he's pretty dang close to 100%. And 100% Christian McCaffrey is a running back that I really want in my lineup in a matchup in which they're going to have to utilize the passing game to keep pace with Kansas City. Love Christian McCaffrey as long as he's 100%. Got him at number 2. That means number 1 is going to be Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings, going up against the Detroit Lions. A great matchup. We know he's getting the volume. We know he's the number 1 option in his offense, and they've really backed off on the passing game just to continue to give the ball to Dalvin Cook. The guy looks great, and he's out there helping you win fantasy matchups all by himself. Once again, going to be my number 1 running back here in Week 9. All right, so we had a few notable players, I mentioned this earlier, that did not make it into the top 30, but I still want to mention them and give you the reasons behind it in case you have questions about these guys. J.K. Dobbins, right? We talked about him when we talked about Gus Edwards. If Mark Ingram is ruled out, I do not hate the start of J.K. Dobbins. We saw last week how electric he can be. He just needs more opportunity. If Mark Ingram is active, he may not see enough touches. Ingram sits. I like J.K. Dobbins a lot better. Just waiting for him to be officially ruled out before I make that switch. Jonathan Taylor, the biggest disappointment ever of Week 8 fantasy football last week. I mean, at first we thought there was an injury involved. It turned out to be that, no, dude was just plain out benched, and you can kind of see why. It's not because of talent, it's because of his vision. He's not able to hit the hole and be efficient with his touches. And you saw a difference, right? When they put in Jordan Wilkins, when they used Nyheim Hines a little bit more in the passing game, you could see them gaining big chunks of yardage. Why wasn't Jonathan Taylor doing that? He's just not making decisions fast enough. And for right now, for the time being, it looks like Jordan Wilkins and Nyheim Hines are going to be a big enough, picture in this backfield to really eat into whatever ceiling there may be for Jonathan Taylor. He should still see touches, but until we see more efficiency, I just can't trust him as of right now. What about the backfield in Miami? Matt Breida dealing with a hamstring issue. Does he even play? We already know that Myles Gaskin is not there, so we're waiting to hear about Matt Breida because if he's not available, that means we're going to have a Jordan Howard sighting more than likely in Miami this week. If you have an available bench spot and in dire need of a running back, if Jordan Howard is sitting out there, not a bad option to go and grab. Not exactly somebody we can say is a must start right now because it's really going to depend on the status of Matt Breida going into this ball game. What about DJ Dallas, Seattle Seahawks? And this is definitely somebody who will leap inside the top 30 if Chris Carson is ruled out. We already know that Carlos Hyde more than likely not going to be good to go. So if Carson is ruled out, we're going to see a lot of DJ Dallas once again, and he'll find himself sitting right in that 15 to 18 range here this week. We're just waiting for word on Chris Carson before we make that move. What about Devonta Freeman of the New York Giants? He's back at practice. He could be utilized. And the last time these two teams faced off between him and the Washington football team, the guy almost had 20 touches. That's something we can't really ignore, especially in a time like this when we're desperate for running backs. Keep your eye on it. If you're looking for a flex play, I wouldn't automatically say Devonta Freeman is a must start if he's good to go. But if you're desperate, he may be an option here once we get a little bit closer to the weekend. All right, there's my quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 9 fantasy football and a few notable players there at the end. Just a quick reminder, I understand that our rankings may be a little bit different. That's fine. This is all about supplying perspective too, right? If we disagree, you get to hear two different sides of the argument, and that's what really helps you make the best decisions for your fantasy football team. Really appreciate the support. Looking forward to the live show this Saturday evening, where we really have that chance to interact with the community for about 2.5 hours an evening. So 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you're free, make sure you come and check it out. Like I said, we greatly appreciate the support, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.